Wow, guys, do I have a story for you today? If you are watching this right now, my name is Jenna. Welcome to my channel. It's called Those Fentanyl Left Behind. And if you haven't seen my first video about how I lost my husband to fentanyl, please go ahead and watch that. But today, what I want to talk about is something that is truly disturbing. It really has me scratching my head, so I'm sure it will be for you too. But this is in regarding to a letter that was received by parents of a kindergarten class, 5 and 6 year olds. I'm not going to say who the parents were, but someone that I know very well. And this is a county in North Carolina. And they received this letter for their kindergarten class regarding pronouns, which is pretty disturbing. And the result for them was that they decided to homeschool. But I'm going to read you this letter because it made me so mad when they sent this to me and I read it and I was like, how have we come to this point? How are we at this point in this world where we are discussing pronouns for a kindergarten class? So let me read you this letter, and I apologize, it's on my phone. But it says, "Good evening." And this was an email, sorry, not a letter. It was emailed to the parents, which is usually, I think, the biggest form of communication these days. They usually don't send paper letters, I guess. So it says, "Good evening, parents/guardian. We believe in creating a respectful environment for all our students. To ensure that every student feels seen and valued, and in order to meet state requirements for SB 49, Parents' Bill of Rights, we kindly request that you complete the attached form before any school employee uses a preferred name for your student on any school document, record, or during any school activity. If needed, copies will be available at school that can be sent home, then completed and returned to the school. We understand that names hold significant personal importance. If your child wishes to use a name or a pronoun different from their legal name at birth or the gender assigned to them at birth, please provide us with the necessary information. For instance, if a student's legal name is John Thomas Smith but prefers to go by Tom or JT, or if your student's name is Elizabeth but prefers to use Beth, you will need to submit this form. Parents/guardians do not need to submit this form if there are no changes to your student's preferred name. This is in accordance with the new state law, SB 49. Should your child's name or gender assignment change officially on their birth certificate, we kindly ask that you provide an official copy to the school office. This will help us maintain accurate records and ensure a smooth and respectful experience for your child. Thank you for partnering with us to create a welcoming school environment for all our students and to remain in accordance with our new state law, SB 49. Did you see what they just did right there? So this is how they're slipping this in and trying to make it like normal. They're saying, well, if someone's name is John Thomas and they want to be called Johnny or JT, or someone's name is Elizabeth and they want to be called Liz, you should submit that. But that is how they're getting this in there and trying to normalize this. This is 5 and 6 year olds. How do you even discuss that with a child that young? Do they have the mental capabilities to have such a conversation? This is absolutely ridiculous. And when I was sent this and told about it, and the parents are very agitated, like I said, they decided to immediately pull their child and homeschool them, which is something I'm going to be doing. And I think a lot of parents should be doing these days because what's being taught in school is probably not a lot of what you want your children to learn, not just from the teachers and the curriculum, but from other students. parents are just not as strict with their children and let them do kind of whatever they want, and other kids are learning from other kids. My nephew will come stay with me on weekends sometimes, and he says words and phrases that were like, where did you get that? He's 5. And he said, well, at school from other kids. So this is what your kids are learning when they go to this mass integrated education system. And let me just remind people, in case you didn't know, that John D. Rockefeller pretty much founded every single system in America. Education, for one, the medical system. I mean, he basically turned everything that used to be normal the opposite way of how we do things now and demonized it. So, learning from your parents was normal, or a small classroom, that was normal. And now it's like weird for people to homeschool. Well, in case anyone didn't know this either, I was homeschooled for eight 8 years when I was from 4th grade to 10th grade, I think it was, or 11th grade. But that's the reason why I want to homeschool my kids, because I loved being homeschooled. I had the freedom to do whatever I wanted. I mean, not whatever I wanted, but I had schoolwork for maybe 2 or 3 hours a day, because that's how long it really takes kids to do their schoolwork. It does not take 8 hours a day. 8 hours is literally programming to get your kids used to an 8 hour schedule. So when they go to work, they will be good workers and be able to focus and put their attention into their work for 8 hours a day. I promise you, look it up. John D. Rockefeller wanted a nation of workers, not a nation of critical thinkers and people who are entrepreneurs and people who have a financial understanding of things. And it's why things are the way they are. It's because they were set up that way. So people need to realize that there is an agenda. There is a war going on for the minds of your children. And if you're going to put them in the mainstream education system, it's scary. I don't know. It's so scary because this infuriated me. It infuriated me. 5 and 6 years old. Can you imagine? Is that a conversation that you would want to have with a 5 or 6 year old? I have a 2.5 year old going on 3 in December and a 1 year old. That is not ever a conversation that should be had until they are close to being an adult or a teenager. I mean, that's just insane. So, yeah, this is just something that needs to be talked about more. And I was trying to pass this story along to Dave Hodges at the Common Sense Show, because he has such a bigger reach than I do. And people need to know that this is going on. A lot of people that don't have school age kids anymore or don't have kids have no idea. And I'm sure that they would feel the same way that I do, that 5 and 6 year olds should not have to worry about what pronoun they're using. I mean, I think we all agree that growing up, you knew someone who liked to shorten their name or have a nickname, and you just said it. I mean, it didn't have to be on a piece of paper. It wasn't defined as a pronoun. And this whole gender affirming thing and pronoun stuff with children is just ridiculous. It is ridiculous. So we need to fight for these kids. And as a mom, I know I'm always going to do that for my kids. But people, pass this along. It's truly disturbing. So, yeah. Hope you guys have a good night and hope everyone is doing well. And thank you so much for watching this video. I'm just a normal mom. This is not even my thing. Honestly, the only reason I started making these videos and speaking out is to bring awareness to the topics, especially fentanyl. Nobody talks about that. There is such a stigma surrounding that. And I do need to make some more videos on that. It's just tough with 2 little guys under 2. So, all right. Have a good night. Thank you for watching.